Is it a good book? Is it good? Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. A new week, a new vlog. I'm really excited to have you guys with me because I'm embarking on a particularly exciting reading journey as I'm going to actually try and put a good faith effort in this week to read A Court of Thorns and Roses. For those of you who watched my last vlog, you'll know that I picked up this edition at a local used bookstore here in London for the equivalent of like $2.50, like $2.50. So like pretty awesome deal considering I would never want to pay full price for this. So super excited to get my hands on it. I definitely had a superiority complex about this book for a while where I was like, of course I'm not gonna read Sarah J Maas, like that's trash. Which is strange because I love Cassandra Clare and I'm definitely here for some trash, but for some reason, Sarah J Maas was just like always too big of a step for me. But then seeing it in like the equivalent of a bargain basket, I was like, you know what? It can't hurt. The cover is pretty, like it'll look nice on my shelves at the very least until I end up giving it away if I really hate it. So I've started to read it and I'm trying to tab everything so that I can give like a proper like rant review once I'm done with this, or just like a normal review because I'm trying to keep my mind open. Who knows? Maybe I'll love it. I'm on chapter 4 now, which is kind of shameful considering I've had this book for almost a week. But yeah, that's like page 32. Also, it's weird. This edition has like the Harry Potter font. I don't know if you can tell, but like the numbers are done in like the Harry Potter font, which I think is just funny. I'm going to actually try and read this during the week. It means I'll have to like sit down and have reading time, but I think that that can actually be good for me for a change, to sit down and try and annotate something and think critically, even if it is like Sarah J Maas. But yeah, kind of like getting my brain ready for the school year again by using my 2 brain cells to do something productive. Hi, so I've finally actually started reading this seriously. So I'm just about at page 200. I'm on chapter 20 because for the past couple days in the mornings, I've been taking time to like actually sit down and read this in bed. And I haven't downloaded the audiobook, which has been really tough for me because I'm so tempted to just like listen to it and go through it super quickly because I know I could finish it in like a day. But instead, I'm trying to be mindful and actually go through and annotate, which is really interesting because most of the things that I'm annotating are like the various like fantasy influences that I see, like where she took inspiration from and like how she did her world building and like what she's been inspired by, which is really interesting. And then also like kind of trying to track character arc. I tried not to like get spoiled, so I don't really know like what the main character is going to end up with romantically or like what the plot is. Like I kind of have no idea. Thus far I've been like enjoying it. It's like, it's interesting, it's fun to read, but is it like well written? No. Like it's not. There are a lot of metaphors that like don't make sense and a lot of character motivation is just like not there, but it's interesting. Like the characters do things that are very clearly to like move the plot forward, and sometimes there's no justification given. It's just like, oh, well, like of course they did because you know. So that's not ideal, but it's still interesting and fun to read. So I'm gonna keep going and I'm like having fun. It's just like not top shelf literature, but like I didn't think it was going to be going into this. So at the end of the day, all is well. Just a quick update, it's 2:30 p.m. and I filmed a different video because I'm so disenchanted with this vlog because I don't want to pick up the Sarah J Maas book. I just like, it's interesting and I always have fun when I'm reading it. It's just, there are so many other things that I would rather do. Like I would rather catch up on work or prepare for job interviews. And then when it finally comes down to, oh, I can relax, reading this and annotating it is just like not speaking to me. Which is a shame because I really enjoy having this intellectual, like, you know, intellectual activity of thinking critically about what I'm reading. But it's made it really hard for me to get through it because I'm just so used to zooming through things with audiobooks and not really thinking critically about the stuff that I read for fun. So, a little bit of a bummer, but, you know, we'll see if I end up reading today. Hopefully I will, because I would like this vlog to be more interesting than me just continually telling you that I haven't read anything yet. So, hopefully I do better. hope you enjoyed my little adventure this weekend. Basically, a couple of friends are like also in London this week, and so we went exploring on Sunday. We had pizza that was like absolutely amazing, but made me feel like I just swallowed a brick, like kind of a bummer when you have that much cheese. I digress. So we had pizza that was great, and then we walked around Carnaby Street for a while. We went into the Muji, and my little stationary loving heart had a heart attack. I thought I was going to like absolutely die because I wanted to buy everything. And then I remembered that there's a Muji on Stanford's campus at the mall. So like really, if I want anything, I can get it there. But I basically get all of my stationery from Muji, all of my pens and sticky notes. Like I absolutely love, love, love them. So it was definitely a struggle for me to not purchase everything in the store, but I think I succeeded. I walked out empty-handed, feeling a little bit sad, but hopeful, knowing that anything that I want I'll just be able to get later. So Carnaby was awesome, and then we took the tube all the way to the city of London to go to Italy, because like one of my friends had seen it on TikTok and was like, this is gonna be awesome. And like obviously it's gorgeous inside, like you saw, but it really is just kind of like a high-end supermarket with like some restaurants. And I'd been to the one in Rome, and I remember being like, yeah, it's like just a supermarket. But she was like, no, I really want to go, and she was like a little underwhelmed. Like it's a really cool place, but it's kind of like if you're going there as a tourist attraction, like I don't know, like there isn't really anything to do unless you're going to like eat. And we'd already had Italian food, so wasn't exactly like the perfect destination. And we'd also wanted to go there because in Spitalfields Market, I think it's called, there's an ice cream shop called Crumble that does like apple crumble inspired like desserts, stuff like this. And my friend was like absolutely dying to have one, and so she, like all day she was just talking about how much she wanted this dessert. And then we got there 20 minutes late, so we didn't get the dessert. Italy was a bit of a disappointment, but you know, it was still like a really fun day, and we came back and we hung out. It was all in all a pretty fun day. And so I didn't get any reading done that day, obviously, but I put a good faith effort in the past 2 days to finish this book, and I did it. And I'm making it sound like it was such a chore, like such a slog, but honestly past like the 50% mark it was really easy to get through. I think the pacing at the beginning is just kind of slow because it's this like slow burn romance, and then at the end there's like action and like actual stuff happening. So it was definitely like the page turner that it was advertised to be by the end. I think the beginning was much more like, are you invested in this romance or not? And then by the end, like because you were invested in the romance, like the tension that like pushed the plot forward was like, I'll just lean back awkwardly. It was very well executed. So I ended up actually having a lot of fun reading this, and by the end I was like, I want to pick up the second one immediately, like because like as you can suspect with a YA/adult romance, like there's a love triangle brewing, and I'm very much on the team of she should end up with the guy that she's not with at the end of this book. Like I think she made the wrong choice, and I have so many strong opinions about this. I'm definitely going to go into way more detail, doing like a full spoilery review and giving my opinions on like who she should have ended up with and why, because like I'm kind of outraged. Like this whole book is about her like learning to like stand up for herself and like realizing that she has power, and then she like makes this spineless decision at the end. So I'm just like not so in love with the ending, but it is like a good enough cliffhanger that like I want to read more. Like it's well executed in that like no matter which guy you think that she should have ended up with, you want to read the next one, because like you want her, like either you want to see like the romance that she is in right now like blossom, or you can't wait for her to realize that she's made the wrong choice. Like it's a good cliffhanger, definitely makes me want to pick up the second one. But yeah, I ended up actually having a lot of fun reading this. Is it a good book? Is it good? It depends on what you're looking for. If you're just looking for a fun romance that has like a little bit of action and some tension, then like yeah, like I'd say for sure. If you're looking for like actual smut though, this is definitely not as like graphic as I thought it was. The descriptions that I'd read about online made it seem like this was like literal, you know, it wasn't. Like it just like was different from YA in that it says that they actually sleep together as opposed to them just vigorously making out. From that perspective, it's not like the dirtiest, raunchiest thing ever. Is the fantasy world well built? Yeah, I'd say it was convincing. The plot by the end was actually quite well structured, and like there were a couple moments where it was like comically convenient, the kinds of things that happened, but at that point I didn't really care. Like I was sold into the premise enough to be like, All right. Anyway, I think I'm gonna wrap this up now because the sun is absolutely baking me. But I hope you enjoyed coming around with me this week. It was so much fun to bring you along as I read this, even though it was actually 2 weeks, but you don't have to tell anyone that. But I had a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in the next one when I go through all of my spoiler-filled opinions on this book. Thank you so much, and as always, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys next time. Bye.